and now we're gonna get to Tay Tay. You want to understand why this man possibly changed his tune? You're gonna hear a little bit more in the ex parte communication. There's a point in the ex parte communication that the judge acknowledged that it can be third party casualties, because when it comes to Woody talking about, like, they like, why won't you testify? If you all you have to, if you feel like your life in danger, you can tell us this. I'm giving you a heads up into the ex parte communication, and they mention that it can be third party casualties. And the judge kind of like paused a little bit, but continued. The judge was ridiculous in the ex parte. So we're going to watch this. YSL Woodie friend Tay Tay UNALIVE in Southwest Atlanta. I have to make sure that I put this on the screen and that we pay homage to his family. At the end of the day, someone lost their family just before this holiday. Okay?
Police in Southwest Atlanta are investigating an overnight homicide. It happened on Peyton Place Southwest, which is not too far from the Hamilton MARTA station. Police tell Fox 5 Crews they found a man in his 20s shot and killed inside an apartment there.
The person identified that was shot in Southwest Atlanta was a close friend of YSL Woodie. Now, the guy name is YSL Tay, and there are rumors circulating on the internet that somehow the Wham tweet that Young Thug dropped on Friday is somehow connected to the YSL Tay shooting that happened in Southwest Atlanta this past week.
This is all allegedly. Y'all know I be getting those clips. This is all allegedly, but this is what they're saying.
And also on Friday, been a lot going on. YSL prosecutor was back in court on Friday, and YSL defendants was in court, and they had to enter a plea bargain. All YSL defendants decided to not to take the plea bargain. So
that with all them boys that I told you that wasn't taking the plea bargain, that happened just before this killing. Does that make sense? You starting to see the picture come together? How the court and the streets and what's going on is functioning with each other. Them boys didn't take none of that. And it's not only because it was an outrageous actual plea deal, but you never knew what they knew in the background. There were so many factors playing too, as well as this case may be thrown out. And they was like, bump it. I ain't about to take no years, and that case about to be thrown out. It could have been those factors too. But we kind of just throwing stuff out there. Let's listen.
They'll go on to trial very soon. But a lot of people are talking about that this YSL Tay shooting that took place in Atlanta over the this weekend. He was inside his apartment when shots rung out, and he didn't make it. He's now deceased. And
he was inside his house, so it wasn't even a conflict, because it was two people who got killed around this time, and one had an argument, they said, and then got shot. This one, he was in the house.
YSL Woodie took to Instagram saying he will revenge his death.
Oh my God!
And a lot of people are saying that the tweet that Young Thug dropped on Friday is somehow connected to this shooting that took place in Southwest Atlanta. When Young Thug dropped a tweet, someone from his account dropped a tweet on Friday saying whatever Wham says goes. And a lot of people are saying that Wham is Lil Baby. So a lot of people are saying that someone from Lil Baby camp carried out a hit on YSL Tay in order to silence YSL Woodie because he's a close friend of YSL Woodie. None of this the acquisition can be confirmed at this time, and
damn.
But a lot of people, like always, spreading news that somehow Young Thug is involved in this YSL Tay.
And they bring a little baby in this too. Do y'all hear this? Now I know the older people don't know who these people are, but I keep my eyes and my ears on who is who. You know, I got 20-year-olds, so I'm more hip than them. I was like, you know what happened to YSL? My son was like, no. I said, thank you. He like, I ain't following that. But, you know, because he ain't in the streets. But this is another rapper.
Shooting that took place over the weekend. How he can do it from jail and not get caught, I don't know. But they're saying this tweet, this Wham tweet, was a signal to Lil Baby to go ahead and carry out a hit on YSL Tay. I'll keep you posted on any more updates. Please subscribe, hit that like button.
And this is allegedly. This is Great TV Podcast. I happened to go through, and he didn't get a lot of views, but I happened to go through a few videos, and this made more sense to me. I just wanted to share that. I don't know if it's true, but this is allegedly. Is it making sense? So Woodie meets YSL when YSL is a star. Woodie wants to be a rapper, wants to do his thing, but Woodie's in the street. They got people who do certain things. You got weed dudes, you got people who sell pills, people who rob, people who do whatever. And what they do is allow people to, you know, be those type of roles in their, you know, what they don't call gang movements, okay? And what these people are saying that are his co-defendants, they all say that they do this separately, but it end up coinciding together when you're moving kind of like a unit. And that's what the prosecution is trying to put out there. Like, y'all rented an apartment together, everybody was putting $50 in an apartment, that was the trap house, y'all was talking about this, y'all was doing this, and this is how RICO works. Even though, you know, you said I wasn't totally involved, I didn't know. No, you're a part of the organization. So that's some of the things that they're trying to establish. So that was a little allegedly about what happened with Woodie, the connection to YSL, and allegedly a connection to Lil Baby. The baby, Lil Baby. You know, you saw him on the screen. I think that's Little Baby, because the baby is the other one that wore a diaper that got on my nerves. He go around all over fighting people, causing trouble. Like, it's just ridiculous. Now, this is going to be another video that I'm going to play about 5 minutes of, is the Paralegal Institute of Washington, D.C. I like this channel. I don't know who this lawyer is, but he put it through like a kind of computer voice, and then he puts it together just like how I put it together. So he did a great job putting this scenario together so you can understand what happened to Woodie, possibly. Okay, please pray for this man and his family. Pray for his family. It's not just a body. It's not just a court case. This is what I want to show you right now for for Tay Tay's part. Okay, so this is Tay Tay. I want to show you that he's a human being. We don't know if he was running the streets. We don't know anything, but we do know that Tay Tay was connected to Woodie. Allegedly, a text went out. This is Tay Tay. This can be anyone's son, anyone's brother, anyone's husband, anyone's family. All right, guys. Society is shaping our young men to think that this is the life. So let's play this clip.
He was already declared dead. Atlanta police are not giving us many details tonight, but they say this shooting stemmed from a fight outside. No word, though, on what led to the gunfire or the search for a suspect.
Apparently, the victim was someone close to YSL trial witness Woodie Copeland.
Police are investigating a death in Southwest Atlanta. Happened early this morning at an apartment complex. Channel 2's Brian Mims is live on Peyton Place. Brian, police say the shot was fired from outside of the apartment.
Exactly. There is a big police presence here at Peyton Place, just off Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. You can see the officers still on the scene after more than 3 hours. The call came around 3 this morning. And when officers showed up at an apartment at 9 Peyton Place, they found a man in his early 20s who had been shot to death. It's unclear if anybody else was inside that apartment, but police say there were no other injuries. A man, again, in his early 20s, found shot to death inside an apartment at 9 Peyton Place. They do say the shots came from outside the apartment, from the street, but it's unclear if the shots were fired from a passing vehicle or whether the suspects were on foot. Police don't have any information at this point about any suspects. They have been interviewing a number of witnesses on the scene. In fact, we have seen a large crowd of people gathered at the Texaco station right across the street from this apartment complex. Investigators have been talking with these folks as well as folks inside the gas station, but right now, very little information about what led up to the shooting and little information about any suspects. Live along Peyton Place in Southwest Atlanta, Brian Mims, Channel 2 Action News, Saturday AM.
Brian, thank you.
Previous speculation was that the victim was identified as Tay, a man who Woodie had previously identified as the man who shot at him. Woodie later said on the stand that he did not know who shot at him.
Going back to the incident in which you, your girlfriend at the time, and your child was being shot at, do you remember seeing any of the individuals who shot at you?
I never saw no one that shot at me at that time.
Do you recall in that interview a period of time where the detective left the room and you were speaking with your girlfriend and you told her that you knew who shot at you?
I never saw nobody. I never saw who shot at me. If I saw who shot at me, I would never told the police who shot at me.
Do you recall in this same February 20th, 2021 interview that when the detective left the room, you said to your girlfriend, "This shit not gonna work. Sit right here and be a damn snitch, so I'm gonna keep going"? Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then she responded, so, you might be effective on the listener.
Overrule the objection, sir. Overrule, sir.
So what you're saying is, why you acting like you did? And she said, you should have just said, no, I thought you know all of them. And you said to her, I do know who it was. Do you recall telling her that?
I know that I knew the camera. I knew that I was being recorded, so I kind of knew what I was doing.
Okay. And then you said, I saw him. I did. When he jumped out the car, I know exactly who I saw.
Nobody never got out of the car, so this clearly proved that I knew what I was doing.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay. And this was when the detectives had left the room.
I don't recall if they left the room or if they stayed in.
Do you recall further in the interview when the detectives asked you whether or not any of the people who did this had ever been to your home? You instructed your girlfriend to tell the detectives who had recently been at the house.
I don't recall what I told them.
Do you recall the detective asking anybody you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been by there? And then you told Deshaun, tell him who been there. Do you recall that?
If I brought anybody to my house, I'm 100% sure they know not to play with me.
Do you also remember when you and your girlfriend were in the room by yourself, you told your girlfriend it was Tay and them who did this to you?
I don't recall.
Was it Tay that shot at your vehicle?
I don't believe so.
Do you recall in that same interview being concerned about being labeled a snitch?
I don't care about what I'm being labeled as.
The trial is currently undergoing numerous hearings before Woodie is set to take the stand again. It is not clear how this most recent incident may affect Woodie or the YSL trial.
During this time when your home was when you were being shot at with your daughter and your then girlfriend, how many other family members' homes have been shot at that year?
Objection, cause for speculation. I'll sustain as to speculation. I will overrule as to hearsay from Mr. Steele.
To your knowledge, how many of your family members' homes have been shot up back in 2015 after Nut died?
Overrule, sir.
I can't recall.
Do you know? Okay, let me ask you this. Was your brother's home shot at?
No.
Okay. Was your girlfriend's mother's home shot at?
Yes.
Okay. Was your sister's home shot at?
Yes.
Was your grandmother's home shot at?
No.
Hold on, y'all. Let me let it get through.
Did you think you were being retaliated against?
Huh?
When all the shootings were happening at your family members' homes, did you think you were being retaliated against?
I didn't think.
Did you know?
Clearly.
Okay. Why were you being retaliated against?
Because people said I killed Nut.
And do you know who was doing the retaliation?
No.
Do you recall telling detective in the same February 20th interview that it was a whole gang after you?
Every time the investigator talked to me, I do not recall what I have told them.
So you don't recall telling them there was a whole gang after you?
I would told them whatever I think that I need to tell them to convince them to stop watching me.
Was there a whole gang after you?
I don't know.
Was the entire IF gang after you?
I seen a few of them, so I can't say that.
Which were the ones that you saw?
I don't know.
Earlier, I asked you about whether you were concerned about being labeled a snitch. Do you recall telling Detective Copeland?
Detective who?
Excuse me, Detective Copeland. Detective Curry.
Now I'm a detective.
I wasn't. I made a mistake. Talking about Detective Mr. Copeland. I'm about to ask you a question. Do you recall telling the detective, I know if I tell you what's going on, they're going to be on record and all this here. And you're going to get him locked up and he's going to get his discovery package. First thing they're going to do is send it to two places, to the street and to prison, and float it all around the city of Atlanta and then all around prison. But my name's over that. I'm not going that way. No, I'm not going through none of that. Look, they shot at me, my girl, and my baby. Almost shot my face off as we're running. I'm not for sure, but I thought I heard one of the bullets hit the car seat or grazed the car seat. Were you concerned about snitching in this interview?
I was concerned trying to get my story together, so I was trying to buy time.
Did you also tell in that same interview, I just know the trouble I'm putting myself in. Just know I don't want to have nothing. I don't want to have nothing, man. I can't go to no job. I can't do none of this shit. I know the street not going to be here forever. All things going on right now. Just waiting on you niggas to catch up and kill me.
Do you hear this, guys? I'm letting this play out to its totality because I don't mind getting a copyright from this gentleman. He can get all the credit. He did a great job putting this little pit together so you can hear what Woodie was going through, the questions he was asking, his feelings, and now it makes sense. And then I'm going to just show you the clip of Tay Tay.
Again, not wanting to snitch on who did this to you, your child, and your baby?
My only motive was anytime the police questioned me was try to figure out how could I get myself out of it. Anytime they asked me any questions, I was trying to, if I couldn't come up with no answer right then and there, I was trying to buy time to think of something to say.
When you met with Mr. Curry, weren't you going there as a victim of an aggravated assault? When you went to go meet with the detective that's in that picture,
Okay.
weren't you going to talk with him about being a victim of a crime?
No, I was shooting back. So I thought they were going to try to lock me up for shooting back.
But during the course of that interview, were you made aware that they weren't planning on arresting you because you were protecting yourself?
When they said they could take me downtown, I put my hand behind my back and told him, "You gonna lock me up? Come on, get it out the way now."
And did they ever lock you up?
Cause he wanted the gun. So he gave me 24 hours to get him the gun. When he let me go, I didn't come back with the gun. So they sent the SWAT team to my house to get me.
But when you went the first day, did they ever put handcuffs on you?
Cause they wanted the gun.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
You hadn't answered the question.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
One of the officers pulled him out and he told him we don't need that.
Okay, so they never put handcuffs on you?
Oral, sir.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
I don't think so.
And when you left the interview, did you leave that interview without any handcuffs on you?
Yeah, I left. I went back to the streets.
So again, when you went in this interview, you were not in trouble.
I was.
Basis. Oral, sir.
Were you arrested at all on February 20th when you went to go speak to the police about being shot at? Were you ever arrested that day when you went down to tell the police about what happened to you, your child, and your girlfriend?
They locked me up the next day.
I asked you, were you arrested that day?
No, they locked me up the next day.
Were you arrested that day?
Oral, sir.
Were you arrested that day?
No.
Did you want the police to go and find the people who actually killed Nut so that people would stop retaliating against you?
Yeah.
The shooting in southwest Atlanta happened early this morning at an apartment complex. Channel 2's Brian Mims is live on Peyton Place. Brian, police say the shot was fired from outside of the apartment.
Exactly, and police say they don't have many details about what led up to the shooting, but there is a big police presence here at Peyton Place, just off Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. You can see the officers still on the scene after more than 3 hours. The call came around 3 this morning, and when officers showed up at an apartment at 9 Peyton Place, they found a man in his early 20s who had been shot to death. It's unclear if anybody else was inside that apartment, but police say there were no other injuries.
We're going to be taking a 5-minute break. Let's listen.
But
And see you soon.
Police in southwest Atlanta are investigating an overnight homicide. It happened on Peyton Place Southwest, which is not too far from the Hamilton MARTA station. Police tell Fox 5 crews they found a man in his 20s shot and killed inside an apartment there.
The person identified that was shot in southwest Atlanta was a close friend of YSL Woodie. Now, the guy name is YSL Tay, and there are rumors circulating on the internet that somehow the Wham tweet that Young Thug dropped on Friday is somehow connected to the YSL Tay shooting that happened in southwest Atlanta this past week. And also on Friday, there's been a lot going on. YSL prosecutor was back in court on Friday, and YSL defendants was in court, and they had to enter a plea bargain. All YSL defendants decided to not to take the plea bargain, so they'll go on a trial very soon. But a lot of people are talking about that this YSL Tay shooting that took place in Atlanta over this weekend. He was inside his apartment when shots rung out, and he didn't make it. He's now deceased. And YSL Woodie took to Instagram saying he will revenge his death. And a lot of people are saying that the tweet that Young Thug dropped on Friday is somehow connected to this shooting that took place in southwest Atlanta when Young Thug dropped a tweet. Someone from his account dropped a tweet on Friday saying whatever Wham says goes. And a lot of people are saying that Wham is Lil Baby. So a lot of people are saying that someone from Lil Baby camp carried out a hit on YSL Tay in order to silence YSL Woodie because he's a close friend of YSL Woodie. None of this, the acquisition can be confirmed at this time, and but a lot of people, like always, spreading news that somehow Young Thug